Ang titulo ng lupa ko ay tinuturing ko ng kayamanan. Yun ang kayamanan ko para sa mga anak ko. Halimbawa, mawala na tayo dito sa mundo para maipamamana ko naman sa mga anak ko. Iniingatan ko talaga. Tinatago ko talaga, iniingatan ko. Mahalaga talaga yon sa buhay mo.
Through the years, the Land Management Bureau, or LMB, improved the lives of our stakeholders by providing land to cultivate their dreams and build a brighter future for their families. But for us to achieve this feat, let us take you back to where it all started. Established in September 2, 1901, the Land Management Bureau was known as Insular Bureau of Public Lands in 1901. Later, it became the Bureau of Lands. Our mission: to supervise the survey and distribution of public lands in the country. Under our first chief, William Tipton, we created a system for land survey. And in 1903, we implemented the first Public Land Act in the country. This became the basis for land disposition.
Cadastral survey is actually an attempt of the government towards a mass land titling approach, judicial ito in nature. What we do is a big municipality or certain municipality is measured or surveyed. The intention is to eventually conduct a cadastral proceeding. Ito yung titling natin under Act 2259. The first cadastral survey was actually done in the municipality of Bataan. It became symbolic in terms of our struggle for freedom and possibly in terms of securing tenure. Eventually, na-stop siya because there were loss of records, and when we tried to resume the activity, the courts are already focused on different cases. So nawala yung expertise ng court or focus ng court towards cadastral proceedings. Sa DNR, we simply issue free patent to those farmers who actually own lands.
During the advent of the Commonwealth Government, Commonwealth Act No. 141, or the Public Land Act of 1936 was made.
Public Land Act of 1936 is merely an amendment of previous public land laws beginning with 1900 up to 1936. I'm happy to note that recently one of the provisions of the Public Land Act, namely the free patent provision, has been amended to make it more convenient for applicants to file a free patent application.
Before the war started, the Bureau was able to issue a total of 93,694 patents and conduct 289 cadastral surveys. With the introduction of IBM and Remington Rand in 1953, the Bureau produced machines capable of handling bulk computations. It became the most advanced government agency in terms of electronic computing. From 1950 to 1960, 1.4 million hectares of agricultural lands were distributed by the Bureau.
Around the 1970s, the government started to notice that the concentration of big lands, agricultural lands, into the hands of few people, mga asindero, mga mayayaman. So, agrarian reform is actually a way of providing social justice by balancing ownership. So, initially, the government covered only rice and corn land, redistributing them to farmers who were landless. But then in 1998, when the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program was initiated, it expanded to cover all agricultural lands. In 1988, the DNR started to play a major role as an implementing agency. And so what we did here is we capitalized on the funding available by providing additional funds for the DNR titling activities in terms of agricultural lands.
In 1970s, the first ever Handog Titulo was launched.
The program of the government to provide titles to the people who have lands but remains untitled. So generally, this is to ensure security of tenure. So what they do is gather applications. Sometimes it's not sporadic. So ang mangyayari, gagawin nila sa isang lugar, gagather nila ang people, they would get mass titling or mass application of lands and distribute it to the beneficiaries.
In June 1987, Executive Order Number 192 called for the reorganization of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, which transferred the Land Management Bureau as a staff bureau and Land Management Services as the implementing field. During this period, and with the enactment of Republic Act 6657, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or CARP, the DENR with the Land Management Services were able to distribute 2.5 million hectares of agricultural lands.
Dito pinapakita ng government our objective, our desire to provide equity in terms of access sa ating kalupaan. We know how hardworking the farmers are. We want to free them from bondage of the soil. Hindi lamang sila tillers or tenants, but they actually become owners. It's been more than 2 or 3 decades effort of the government.
Romulo is one of the beneficiaries of our Bureau's land titling system.
Napaka-importante para sa amin yun. Kahit na sinong tao, magkaroon ka ng sariling titulo. Napaka-importante yan. Dahil lahat na tao, ang pangarap niyan na masenso eh. Salamat at natulungan nila kami.
To accomplish this, we should assure the availability and sustainability of the country's resources with proper use and restoration to meet the demands of growing population, enhance our natural resources, promote access, and conservation of land and marine areas that represent our heritage. Licensing and regulation of all natural resources is provided to ensure equitable sharing of benefits for the welfare of Filipinos.
The objectives of LMB, we aim to provide tenure security by accelerating formal recognition of all rights and providing effective and efficient land administration and management services. We also provide effective management of public and government-owned lands for the benefit of present and future Filipinos and promote optimal use and sustainable management of land and natural resources. We would like to address the need for clear and strong legal and institutional framework between and among land titling agencies, and we want to accelerate the completion of original land titling in the entire country.
The status of land disposition program from 1910 to June 30, 2017 is that we have already a total of 4,932,574 patents which were issued, covering around 9,536,536 hectares. From July 1987 to December 31, 2016, a total of 2,415,079 patents were already issued to farmer beneficiaries covering 2.5 million agricultural areas.
LMB also facilitates the granting of land titles to the rightful owners for those who want to have their own land title.
Wala pang kabahay-bahay dito. Palayan pa lang ito. Sabi yung ate ko, maghanap kayo dyan sa baba. Sabi niya, bumili kayo ng rights nyo para may matirahan kayo. Sinabi na i-reward na yung ganito, na ano na kay Marcos. Ilakad ko yung titulo nyo. Pag pumunta sa Bureau of Land,
under the Commonwealth Act 141, we have 4 modes of disposition. First is through pre-patent, where we issue pre-patent to beneficiaries who have occupied the lands for more than 30 years. Also, there is a current law, there is a Republic Act 123, where we issue pre-patent also to residential areas. Third is through sale. Under the sale mode of disposition, the applicant will have to pay the purchase price or the cost of the land. Then lastly, we have the lease, where applicants pay rents for the use of these lands.
For more than a century, our Bureau successfully granted titles to beneficiaries covering agricultural and residential lands.
For interested applicants, all procedures on land dispositions are prominently displayed in all our community and provincial offices. You can visit the nearest Centros and Penros for information on how to acquire patents to your lands.
The Bureau has now partnered with local government units in providing a more decentralized and transparent titling process.
The partnership of the DNR with the local government units is intended primarily to get the LGUs involved in the disposition of public lands. And under this partnership, the DNR and the LGUs enter into an agreement which we call the Memorandum of Partnership Agreement. One of the responsibility of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the DNR, is to train the LGUs. We train them on the processing of public land applications. After having them trained, the participants from the LGUs are deputized as public land investigators. Once that they are deputized, they are now ready to accept public land applications. With this kind of arrangement, we are extending the services of the DNR up to the nearest barangay.
LGU personnel can now assist in the acceptance of free patent applications at the municipal or barangay levels.
Currently, we have 296 MOPAs. These are found all over the country. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of MOPAs, a long way to go.
Our partnership with local government units hopefully fast-tracks the processing and issuance of land titles over alienable and disposable lands.
There are 1,634 municipalities. We're not even one-fourth of the total target. Hopefully, this arrangement or agreements with the LGUs will be extended to cover many municipalities with land still untitled, expecting an increase in the production as far as land disposition is concerned.
Our Bureau also started to give focus to resolution of land conflicts and early amicable settlements of land claims and conflicts.
We always have to be very objective in resolving it. So we really don't have to be influenced by anybody else. Basta kami, we just focus on the merits of the case, the evidence of the parties, and not subjectively, of course, because if you would be subjective, we'll be considering personalities. So, kung ano lang talaga, yung sa tingin namin ay nararapat, doon lang, regardless kung sino man siya. Basta para sa amin, importante na maibigay ang lupa sa kung sino ang karapat-dapat at nararapat na magkaroon. Pag meron silang complaints over lands, let's say, Taguig. So, in Taguig, if it's part of Proclamation 172, they can file their complaints here at LMB. So, the other lands in Taguig, which are within the jurisdiction of the National Capital Region, DNR, National Capital Region, they may directly file their complaints before the DNR in CR.
By mainstreaming the lessons and reforms from the Land Administration Management Project, we adopted the Land Management Bureau System or LAMS, an information system designed to provide effective management of land records and efficient delivery of land transactions and information services to the public.
LAMS is a land administration and management system. It is a land information system with GIS functionality, and its main objective is to improve the delivery of land-related services through an automated land transaction services. It also improved the management of land records and information by promoting transparency and accountability, as well as integrity. It also improved access to integrated land information for better analysis, planning, and decision-making for a spatially enabled management.
As a major innovation, LAMS address the problematic management of land records within DENR. It also promotes the quick processing of land transactions, updating of land records, and tracking of applications.
LAMS will facilitate the easy retrieval of all information. It will also create a lean and mean bureaucracy in the management of land records. There will be a security of the documents. All the information are within LAMS. The information easily, so the public can have all the necessary information about their lands easily on the computer. At the one click of a finger, they can have all the information that they need about the parcels of land. Scanning retail plans. We also want to include those documents into LAMS, but those documents will take the backstage first. So we want to finish first all those documents which are okay, not brittle.
Meanwhile, in 2017, our Bureau also approved and issued guidelines that support the use of unmanned aerial systems or drone technology. Drones, in addition to traditional survey instruments, can be used to survey and map huge area in a shorter period of time. It also provides graphical presentation and more accurate information on land parcels through high-resolution aerial photos.
We have now electronic equipment such as total station, GPS, global positioning system, survey grade, and just recently we were able to purchase drone. The drone is basically, if you use that in the conduct of survey, you will have ground accurate survey, because beside determining the actual position on the surface of the earth, you will be able to get an image which is clearer than the satellite image. We call this a survey grade drone because its accuracy is in the centimeter.
For more than a century, the Land Management Bureau continues to be at the forefront of the government's efforts in promoting social equity through the distribution of public agricultural lands to the rural masses. We came a long way and remain true to our mandate of serving the Filipino people by alleviating poverty and promoting social equality through fair public land distribution.
With these objectives, the LMB contributes to alleviating poverty and promoting social equality through public land distribution.
As we continue to widen our horizons with projects that serve and protect the public interest, Filipinos enjoy the quality of life they deserve.
Masaya ka dahil may titulo ka na, sabihin mo na may sarili ka ng bahay, saka sa mga anak mo, halimbawa mawala ka, meron ka na ipamana sa mga anak mo. Mahirap yung wala kang tirahan talaga parang sarili mo ng bahay. Kaya panatag ka na. Hindi ka na paaalisin dahil meron ka ng titulo, yun, tibayan mo na meron ka ng pag-aari.
We are also working on the integrated access to land information and land administration and management services through data standardization and harmonization with strong information technology support. We will also work on the adoption of a more aggressive advocacy at the legislative, institutional, and all sectors in pursuing reforms for a deeper and more active engagement of all land management stakeholders. And we will pursue the active participation of local government units in land survey and titling through the systematic adjudication approach.
Join us as we strive to provide secure tenure and increase socio-economic activities in the local government for the benefit of present and future generations.
Sa staff ng LMB, I want to express my deepest gratitude in giving your best and serving the people to the best of your abilities. Your commitment to excellent public service serves as an inspiration for all of us. To the public, kayo po ang siniserbisyohan namin towards a better future for the Land Management Bureau and the land sector. In the next 10 or 20 years, we will be leading the crafting or the formulation of the 20-year roadmap of the land sector. And in this roadmap, we intend to accelerate the land titling in residential and agricultural areas.